Hello everyone, I'm Lucia Tien, the author of Leathercraft CAD software. In this video, I would like to explain what's the new features, what the changes in Leathercraft CAD version 2.0.8 and 2.0.7. So the first thing is, I think you have noticed that from this version, it comes with a demo project like this one. And it explains what you can do with Leathercraft CAD software. So please take your time to read those things. And then actually you can play with this one. This is not the read-only project, but this is actually you can you can play with this. So let me explain how this demo project is made of. So there are 4 layers, and let me explain one by one. So I'm gonna hide all the other layers other than the top. Now right click on it and hide other layers, and then you can take a look at layer one by one this way. So the first layer is a pattern layer. So obviously the actual Leathercraft pattern is drawn here. And the second layer is only for the dimensions, so it has a dimension layers. And then, by the way, you don't need to do it this way, but this is the way I do usually. And then third layer, this is a cosmetic layer, and then it only has a painted object. And there is a good reason for me to do this way, and let me explain that later. And the last layer is about the description layers. So I gathered all the explanations in these layers. And again, you don't have to do it this way. You have total freedom how you're going to use this layer features. But this is just the way I do usually. So let me turn on, or let me show all layers. Okay, so the reason I do separate this cosmetics and dimension layer is sometimes I want to hide the color portion of it and then take a look at only the skeleton or the pattern itself. And in that case, I can turn off the cosmetics or painted part easily this way. And the same thing goes to dimension layers. If I want to hide the dimension, I can do it this way, and then same thing goes to the others. So please find out your best way. There's no single best way to use this layer feature. Another good reason for separating those things on a different layer is, when you export a pattern for your cutting machines or laser cutters like X tool, you don't want to export those things, but you only want to export the actual patterns. This way it will make it easier to export. And now you can go to the main menu and then export as SVG. And this way you can export only the pattern easily. So that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so this was about the demo project. Okay, the next biggest change from this version is about this painted object. So from this version, you will be able to convert any closed object or closed shape or closed shapes, group of shapes, into a painted object. And then there are 2 ways to do it, so let me explain. So to make it painted, it has to be closed. So what is closed shape or closed shapes? So this one is closed. Obviously, this is a closed circle. These things are also closed. So you can, in this case, you can convert these things into one colored object. And this one also, this is a combination of, let me change the layer. Yep, so just in case, let me copy and paste. So this is also closed shapes because all dots, all connections are blue. So in this case, you can convert this into painted object or colored object by pressing F9 key this way, F9, or sometimes it's function plus F9 depending on your environment. So what is closed and what is not, you can tell from the connection. So select all the shapes you want to convert, and then it will tell you, no, in this case it doesn't tell you, so press I key to make the connection sign available. So if you see blue dot at the connection, there's no red, that means the shapes are closed. And then this case, yeah, so this case you will be able to convert into a colored template. And then if the shape is not closed, so this is obviously this is not closed, so you will not able to convert this into a colored template. What happens if you do that? Let me do it quickly, and press F9, and then it does convert the shapes into a single template object, but it will not be colored. So let me do it back, undo, and then connect. And also if you see red dot, so this one looks closed, but when you magnify it, then you see red dot here. That means it's crossed, not jointed. In this case also, it will not, so this is not closed object. So if I do F9, and again, it will convert them into a single template object, but it's not colored because this part is not connected or jointed. So let's undo again, and then so try to joint. So now this portion, this joint turn into blue. That means it's connected. And then let's see, double click, and then check all the dots are blue, and then you will be able to turn or convert them into colored object. Yep. So once it's turned into a painted object, then this will not work. It will not create any intersections with other shapes. So this is just a painting purposes, cosmetic purposes. So if you want to keep the original and make a copy of it and paint it, then you can do pressing F10 instead of F9. So let me do that. So by the way, you can convert converted template part into the original state by pressing F8. So it will revert back to the original shapes. So let me delete this one and do it again. So you have to select all of the shapes and then press F10 this time. And actually it creates a copy of it and then turn it into a colored object. And this F10 is quite useful when you want to separate layers like this case. So if I create another layer down here, and then this way, now you have layer 6 underneath this main layer, and I can click on it and then right click on it and the layer, and then move the selected shapes to the layer below. So this action will bring the painted object on this layer. So let me hide the other layers. So now layer 6 has this one because I sent it to this layer from the top layer, and the top layer doesn't have it. So if you want to separate painted shapes, this is the best way to do it. So again, if you want to keep the original, use F10. If you don't need the original, then use F9. And if you want to revert back to the original shapes, then press F8. So I use it for highlighting the region for gluing. And also I can paint each part and then make it look like the final product. And then if you combine this feature with the existing F6 stitching simulator, it becomes more useful. So you can now turn on the stitching simulator, and you have more idea how it look like in a final product. And then this is stitching thickness, the thread thickness, you can change by pressing plus minus keys. So pressing plus and make it thicker, and the plus minus to make it thinner. And also this plus minus key works differently if you select like this credit card. Can I do this? Yep. So I'm now selecting this credit card portion of it. And if I press this plus key, then it will, oops, not this one. It will change the transparency. Pressing plus will make it not transparent, and plus minus to make it weak, more transparent. And in a future version, you will be able to take a picture of your leather sheet and then put it onto closed object, and that way it will be more realistic, how it look, and then you will be able to change the color of the thread also. So you will be able to do it, but not in this version, in a future version, but not too far from now, probably within a few month time frame. If everything goes smooth, then I'll be able to implement that feature within this year, I guess, or maybe sometimes in January 2025. So please stay tuned. Okay, so that's for the painting. And what's next? So I talked about this thread, stitching simulator, and then also, I increased the number of the palette here. So now you have more colors. It used to be only 10, but now you have 40 of them. And then you can change the color of the painted object like this. This is on layer 6. So select and then hit, and then it will change the color. And then do it again. Yeah, this way. It's very easy to change the color. And then editing palette is much easier now. It used to be just a single pull down menu here, but now you have color picker, and then it's easy to change the color like this. So if you want to change it, please do so. And from this version, actually, it supports a black background and a white background by clicking these radio buttons, black, white. And then actually it changes the color a little bit because let me turn back to black background. This sky blue color, this one, this will disappear if I keep this color to the white background. So I separated the palette with black and white. So actually it has 40 black background colors and 40 white background colors. And then by default, I set similar color to it. So the sky blue now turns to somewhat dark blue, and then white turns to gray. So things like this. But you can change the color the way you want. And this is the first time this white background mode is implemented. So there may be some issues. So if you find something, please let me know by email or Twitter X. And what's next? Yes, so now it supports the order of painting or showing. So now let me change this transparency to somewhat this one. So now I can change the order of printing or showing from here. Now order, bring to front or send it to back. And if I send it to back, then this one will go back to the most back. And if I do it again, order and send it to, bring it to front, then this will come to the front. And this way you can control the order of things if it has multiple layer of skins. And that's that. And the next thing is about the oval. So let me create a new project. I don't want to save this. And until previous version, ovals are treated as oval, of course. But from this version, actually ovals, one oval consists of 4 Bezier curves like this. And then the reason for this is oval calculation is very complex, especially when rotation is involved. So to make it simple, make it faster to work, I converted oval as 4 Bezier curve. And then now actually it supports rotation. Of course, the previous version didn't support rotation of oval shape. So now you can do this. And then also in the mandala mode, it wasn't this oval was not supported. But from this version, oval is supported in the mandala mode, like this. And of course, rotate and then F9. You can do, oops, F9 doesn't work. Oops. Oh, I was hitting the wrong key. So F9. Yep, so it works. So this is about oval. And I think the last thing is about the Bezier curve specification change. In version 2, the specification of the Bezier curve was changed a little bit. So in the previous version, I talked about the Bezier curve. I talked about the Bezier curve specification change for the symmetric editing. That is, you have to select 2 Bezier curves when you do symmetric editing of the control point, like this one. I'm pressing Shift key right now for symmetric editing. But from this version, you don't need to select the counterpart of it. You can just select one of the Bezier curve and then press Shift and then move control point like this one. The reason for that is if there's only one Bezier curve, it's very annoying to if I need to select 2 Bezier curves always and for editing. And then it makes sense if there are multiple Bezier curves like this. Then computer doesn't know which one to be symmetric. So it makes sense to let people select 2 curves in this case. And actually, this case, this one doesn't do, even if I press Shift key, it doesn't go into symmetric editing mode. I still have to select 2 and I specify which ones to edit at the same time. So like this, or I can do it like this. Yep. So that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense that if there's only one Bezier curve attached to it. I don't need to let computer know because it's obvious. So this is the change I made from this version, and I think that's it. Yes, so that's about it. And again, let's go back to the demo project. So painting like this, please play with this, and then you might need some practices to be able to do this type of stuff. Once you become comfortable separating from one, let me show you. So after you finish the main design, the entire design, next thing you're going to do is to separate this into parts, right? So once you get familiar with doing this part, you shouldn't have any problem turning this into colored object, because double click and then F10, 10. Yeah, this. Or you can do double click, oops, control, yep, you can control double click and then select the multiple shapes, and then F10. This will convert this whole as well. So there's some practices necessary maybe, but once you get used to it, this feature will be very useful for you. So I think that's it for this time. So please play with it and then let me know if you have any questions, suggestions, and then a request. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.